My father, he was a drug addict, spent 15 years in a state penitentiary. My mom dropped out of high school as a sophomore. You know, we was raised up difficult. It was difficult. Lived here, lived there, 5 or 6 different schools growing up, and it was a tough upbringing. I mean, fortunately, when I was 12, my mom, she marries another man. He was college educated, has a master's degree, and it kind of, you know, opened my mind up that there's more to the world than what I was raised up in. I didn't really want to go to college, you know, I did, but I didn't know what it would take to go to college. You know, and I was a typical college student. I go to school, don't go to class, party, you know, and I flunked out. Me and my wife, we got pregnant, and like any man would, I had to figure out a way to support my family. And fortunately, I had good credit, and I bought a farm, 50 head of cattle, and that was my livelihood. I want to say 2015, the Red River flooded, and I lost half of my herd of cattle. It really changed my life to put me back to where I've always, you know, where I wanted to be, teaching and coaching. Football saved my life. It was my anti-drug. I mean, calms my temper, and I live it. I love it. I wanted to find that one student that was like me, you know, somebody that's lost. And there was 2 ways to do it. I could become a preacher or become a teacher. I never considered myself a saint, so I become a teacher and a coach. Without career development, I would probably still be in school. You know, my aunt being a counselor, I'd known about it, and I never really used it, but then that's when I was introduced to Gina Fowler. I didn't have money. You know, I didn't have the money to go to college. I didn't have the money to do what needed to be done. I wasn't the best student, and they gave me a pathway to move on through the stages of college. With them, it helped me financially, you know, whether it was books, tuition, whatever they helped me pay for, it gave me the money to drive back and forth to Durant. I mean, 200 miles, one trip, twice a week. But since I graduated, you know, I accepted a job here at Nowata. So I started in May, and me and my family, we moved up here in June. I would say it's probably the best school system I've worked for. I mean, you go from making $17,000 to what I'm making now, it's a life changer. I mean, it is. I was telling somebody, this is more money than anybody in my family's ever made. You know, I'm perfectly fine with it. If a student was to ask me to go to career development, I'd say, go for it. I mean, there's not a better program, I think, in the Choctaw Nation. They gave me the opportunity to get through. It really helped me.
Now proud. 1, 2, 3.
Choctaw Nation!